happening there. So even with a crazy ass draft like that last one, I think that you just need to prepare well and be that consistency, have that consistency. I wouldn't feel safe right now from Faceless either, thinking about going up against the other teams a little bit later on today.
Draft is underway here. The first band out of the way. Looks like actually we might be in a pause now that I noticed that. Yeah, one of the players reconnecting here as the timer has been paused, but hopefully not too long before we resume on. But we got a Knicks band, so that's a strong start here.
Knicks, Clock, Sand Kings, the usual Night Stalkers, target the 4 positions that are kind of the big playmakers, the stuff you got to worry about. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
I say Slaughter last game made a strong case. People are commenting last game was a strong example why Lena is still a very top pick.
Yep.
But I think Lena did a lot of work because of the corrosive haze.
Yeah.
Was able to chase down a lot of kills. I mentioned the amp damage, being able to break the link, and Sven did a big part there as well. So I would not sleep on Slaughter as a top pick for Boombacks. He's quite good in the hero.
I think that with the Knicks band too, you might be telegraphing a little bit of the Bat Rider stuff. Like Knicks, or rather Night Stalker and Sand King are always going to be super relevant, but with that, it feels like it's a natural setup, and we've seen how strong it can be with Silencer as well.
Pat's being definitely one of the top picks.
Respect?
What? I mean, oh my God, it's a little too much respect in my opinion, but
agreed. Definitely.
I don't know if that was again, it was good that game as we all suggested, but I don't think it's worth the ban. Anyways, it kind of almost makes you wonder if they actually watched the game, which I assume that they did. But they banned it nonetheless. Treant Protector, actually the ban from Clutch. That's a hero that actually has died down a lot. I've noticed we really haven't seen much of him in this region especially.
It feels like we haven't even necessarily seen him being banned. He's just being ignored.
Exactly.
So, a little surprising. Maybe just something coming out of scrims that these teams know about each other. That like Bamboo plays a sick Treant or something like that. But as Lumi mentioned, the Boomback Slaughter Lena, it's the duo. You have the corrosive haze. Lena just right clicks him down from afar and works out. It's definitely a good late game plan.
And Shadowblade into Silver Edge Builder for Bristleback. We saw that ends up working across all the regions. I mean, Lena's just everywhere.
Yep. I feel one of the least purchased item in this patch is Heaven's Halberd, and Slaughter is one of those 4 positions that could eventually build into one. And I'm surprised why we don't see it more. Like for example, last game, I think Heaven's Halberd is a prime candidate being purchased, even let's say from your Bloodseeker, if you just want to play more of that tanky role.
It did get picked up on the LC, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a very unpopular item.
I mean, it just like counters, like carry position nowadays is only right click, right? Think of your Sven, your Jugs, you know.
Yeah.
You throw a Halberd on top of that, they're just done for 5 seconds.
Puck coming out as a response to Lena as far as the matchup goes.
Yeah. I think it's a weird thing to take those 2 cores this early, though.
I think they really just wanted the puck.
Yeah.
And you know your mid matchup, so well, not a counter to the Lena per se. It's at least some here that will match up decently.
Gonna get some tee-hee puck action. Unless they run in the off lane, which is something you have to bring up whenever you see a puck, I feel like, but yeah, mid's the
is
usual.
that a Velo hero? Is he
the puck?
Yeah.
Not
Velo
much.
loves to play the Bristleback, and he played it like the way that everyone plays it now. Like he was the hipster. Like he used to like go for the hood, the Vanguard, and sometimes even the mech way before. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be the Bristleback. He is by far on his team the most comfortable player on that hero.
We saw a cool thing in their opening games where they first picked a Bristle and the other team's like, oh, we got to counter this Bristle, and then they turned into a Drow strat. They did the Drow Viper or whatever. Don't know if we'll see a Drow Puck necessarily. It is definitely a possibility if they feel like, based on what Clutch pick for that carry, for example, we could see it, but I think they're happy just to play this Bristle, not in that like, oh, let's make our Bristle a carry kind of role.
Now, 3rd pick option for Clutch gamers. Figured they still need their 5 support, 1 option, in an offlane perhaps. To come here. Bat Rider is banned out by Geek Fam, so very popular offlane of this whole tournament. Not going to see it this time around. They do ban IO and Clockwork on the other side. Again, Geek Fam still needs their own supports, so limiting that pool just a little bit.
I feel like the Slardar, he's really good at like moving around, and in the particularly like the mid game at setting up the damage for the Lina and gain that Blink Dagger initiation, but he doesn't offer as much as like a Sand King or an Earthshaker or one of those other roaming heroes that we often see. So I feel like they need strong lanes from clutch gamers, either statically or they need something where they can set up for the Slardar to come in and crush, because it's hard to just like run in there and crush another lane. And with Bristleback and Puck, like those are two lanes where it's going to be hard to find any kills.
Yeah.
Maybe they just play it more greedy with their picks.
Sprint ideally helps with that, but yeah, no, I agree with you there. Definitely needs a little more reach and
Ooh, that's the strong lane.
Shadow Shaman, yeah.
It's an instant disable for Puck. Can be kind of nice to have.
This is a strategy that Clutch Gamer did a lot in the past. In the O patch, they like to pair Chaos Knight with Shadow Demon, or sorry, Shadow Shaman, excuse me, and they would just have this uncontrollable pushing strategy that comes out like 25-30 minutes in the game. The question is, you know, Geek Fam most likely will see those replay, whether they have a strat against it is.
Well, and they already have a Bristle Puck, which you talk about like Illusion Clear and just AoE in general. Feels like that's going to be really strong against somebody like a Chaos Knight, I would assume. But so.
The other thing I think I saw out of Complexity was the Shadow Shaman Venom. Get the wards with more wards. You talk about push strat. The carry Venom with Shadow Shaman, you push like high ground at 20 minutes in. It's dirty. Yep. They won that. They took a Rax at like 19 minutes in against one of the top NA teams. It was DC or someone.
The nice thing about Shaman, and also it really pressures what Geek Fam could put in the off lane. Like Bristleback by himself might not even be able to survive, especially if Shadow Shaman gets to like walk around the trees and get a shackle at you when you're like level 1. With enough stuns there, like if Slaughter's there, if there's a CK there, you guarantee a kill.
Kunkka. Some ranged catch here.
Yep. Team fight, initiation, something to cancel the shackles potentially. Some cool things coming out of this Kunkka pick.
So they still need, again, their 5 support. I think whenever you have a Bristleback, there's kind of 3 supports that come to mind, especially the Io, which of course is banned, but then you got the Coddle and the Crystal Maiden are both still there.
Yeah, CM sounds like a very good hero for them with Puck, Kunkka. CM Kunkka seems like a good support duo. CM Bristle seems like good synergy too.
You know what I'm glad that we're not seeing is that amazing Oracle pick.
Yeah, that was it was losing games left, right, and center, right?
I think I won 1 out of like 4 or 5 games yesterday.
Yeah, today it's like all the teams kind of looked at those replays and were like, oh yeah, that's right, it's Oracle. Yeah, I haven't seen him yet today, at least in the matches we've been casting. Darkseer for Clutch Gamers.
Yeah. Darkseer Slardar.
This is a Clutch going back to what they did last patch. Like, all comfort heroes, a slower strategy, but a very strong timing push. Obviously, it is not as strong this patch, because a lot of that stuff did get nerfed, but...
I think the other thing that's cool about this, too, is that it's set up, like, Kunkka isn't incredibly strong in lane unless you get, like, something... I feel like they can pressure it more easily, because, like, Torrent just bare is not going to be easy to hit. If they take CM and Jug, okay, yeah, that's going to be quite a lot stronger.
They immediately, like, you don't normally... I feel like if you looked at all drafts on this current patch, you'd probably find, like, 1% you last pick your 5-position support. But that's what Geek Fam's doing, just because they see this Darkseer and they're like, shit, we need to carry that can actually farm against Darkseer, and Jug's like probably the only one left that does well against Darkseer, so they're actually going to save their last pick for Bambo's support.
I mean, they could have anti-mage as a carry that, you know, did well against Darkseer.
But then you're playing an anti-mage game when maybe you don't want to.
Push. Sure.
You can't just pick anti-mage because he has a good matchup in lane. I think you need to pick anti-mage because he deals well with the game as a whole, and minus armor, like a Slardar Lina, I think is kind of a bad matchup for AM.
Sure.
You also don't know your opposing team's carry. They'll get an Ursa or some maybe they get the Jug against AM. Oracle ban.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Jesus.
Just as we're talking about that.
Yeah, Oracle against the Darkseer, but definitely would not have rated that.
CM is really good here.
CM Jug, yeah. Less appealing because of the Darkseer. You get a lot of pressure on you, but I think it's still okay. If you want something that fights better, you're looking at like the Disruptor. Could be a good option, but CM is CM, you know.
You got clutch gamers here needing their 1 position still, and you see the ban on Sven as a result. So, any other heroes that maybe come to mind?
Chaos Knight.
Chaos Knight, yeah, the pushing carries Chaos Knight.
Metamorphosis Man is okay,
TP,
also okay. Yeah.
I think PA could be okay, too. It's a little bit funky, but blows up Jug and more amp stuff.
Oh, this giving me flashback of the Bambo off-lane Rubik once Zephyr was Dunzo. Like, I mean, GeekFam's kind of in that position, but I don't think we're going to see off-lane Rubik here. We're going to see the standard stuff.
Support puck, off-lane Rubik, mid-bristle, you know?
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
What a clutch, what a grab. I think push is definitely something good. When you've got Shadow Shaman Lina, something to frontline. The Chaos Knight does sound kind of cool right now.
So yeah, you keep going about Kit, but again, the point I brought up earlier, is that not something you're really just concerned about at all as far as just AoE damage in general against a Chaos Knight?
It exists, but I think if you get it farmed, if you win your lanes, you get farmed enough, you just get enough HP, you can shrug it off. But
Okay.
I think a lot of those pushing heroes, TBs has the same issues. Bennu doesn't.
That sounds pretty cool.
That'd be very all in for the early game.
Well, gonna find out shortly here.
Ursa could work even, actually. Maybe Ursa's the pick. Razor.
Someone nobody suggested.
This is not the pick.
No? Why not? Razor Bristle versus Bristle?
I suppose.
Kind of just tank. It's a like tanky safe laner, but.
All right, so Razor it is.
It's like a filler hero, right? It's just whatever it was, they just needed to throw something in there to do some damage and to hit some towers occasionally, and that is like perfect what Razor was, because the whole draft is really those other 4 heroes. They're going to be setting the tempo of the game.
Razor does do very well against Juggernaut. Like, it makes his Omni Slash almost like a joke if you get the link off. Obviously, you know, Spin doesn't care about the link, so I could see that. A good hero like Pressure Bristleback. But I'm more with Gabe here. It feels like there are perhaps stronger choices that could push your lineup into either like a pushing direction or a teamfight direction. And this is kind of like halfway in the middle.
All right, Gods, prediction time. Who do you like now that we've got the drafts?
We're going to Geek Fam on this one. Take a Bristleback. You know, our OP hero list has one name and it's
Still
Bristle.
just Bristle.
And I'll keep my faith in him. I think that the Jug lane can hopefully deal with this Darkseer pressure, maybe even a Darkseer Slaughter, but I'll go Geek Fam.
Lyrical?
I'm going to say the same. I think that Lina's going to have maybe a bit of a tough time in mid against that puck. I think that might be one of the determining factors too.
All right, Lumi, what do you think?
I'm going to go with Clutch here. I feel like this is majority of the heroes that they are very, very familiar with, like a comfort zone pick. They could get a lot of things done with the Rasta wards from Fly Solo, and a lot of early game kills as well. So I think Velo actually indeed will have trouble in the off lane. So he might not be as OP as he normally is.
Well, here we go. The applauses, the crybabies coming out to start things off. And the pause, though, and looks like we are good. So, into the game. Clutch Gamers trying to follow up that huge victory over TNC. We're now at a 3-3 record against Geek Fam, who's 2-4 coming into this. Once again, myself and Lumi will be your casters. And we got Bristleback headed towards the top lane. We got that double mango. Something I was thinking about the Razor final pick there. Is this maybe a Razor game where he's going to prioritize an Ags even eventually, or sooner than later?
Yeah, if they were going to go for the high ground push, the Aghanim Scepter will definitely help out. But Razor, you generally want to prioritize on survivability. Even though Ag does give you some, you're looking for, let's say, a Hurricane Pike. That's kind of your go-to. Make sure you get your static link going, and then worry about the Ags much later.
Well, we're going to be up at the top lane again against the Bristle, at least for now, and we'll see if anyone else joins up there. Protecting the runes on either side. Doesn't seem like we're going to have any contention, really. Rubik, is there something that he's really looking to steal in these fights, or is this one of those games where it's
Serpent wards.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, if you could steal Serpent wards, I mean, a majority of the reason to pick Shadow Shaman is for that high ground push, and you're pretty much guaranteed you won't lose the push or lose the tower if you steal Serpent wards.
Yeah. So Sexy Bambo gonna try to be on top of that. And it seems like one of those abilities that you should be able to steal pretty efficiently, unless he like follows it up right with the shackles, trying to ward trap somebody. But
also as a laner, it gives you quite a bit of kill potential over the Darkseer. But for the most part, to me, this is a very bad Rubik game. As a Rubik, you never want to see very high mobility heroes on the other side. Like Slaughter, Darkseer, once they get on top of you, there's very little plays that you can make. There isn't like a Sakuchi or Blink that you could easily steal. So it's going to be a tough one for Sexy Bambo.
Well, Telekinesis is a great ability for level 1 ganks, and going to try to use that right here with the Kunkka. On the middle lane, Lina could be in some trouble. Rubik is missing, is being spammed, and that's for good reason. There's the lift. Torrent's put down. Does not connect, though. That's awkward. Doesn't matter, though. Teehee will connect for the kill, so not the prettiest of execution, but it's a kill nonetheless.
Was not surprised that the Torrent did not follow up. We've seen yesterday, it was like, I think, a casket into a Torrent that also missed.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not used to execute that level 1 gank. The Torrent needs to come out at the same time as the stun does. But doesn't matter, as you point out, they get the kill. Boombax now circles around as well. They need to bait Heehee to use his orb forward, but yeah. I don't think he will.
And then now he's level 2 as well, so I'm sure, well, does he get phase shift here? Yeah, he gets phase shift, so it's even that much more difficult now to land the kill. He's going to go for it. There's that phase shift. Nice bait out with the crush, though. And he is down with the illusory orb, as you're just mentioning, Lumi. So this could be the kill. One more auto attack, another phase shift. He can't get it off in time.
Tower?
Puck will live, and the tower's going to try to turn onto Slaughter. He doesn't hit the illusory orb. Wow, that was close. They both barely survive.
Did get a salve usage out of the puck, and he got a cancel, so he still has to go base, but would have much preferred to kill. Sexy Bambo now rotates in.
That was close, but yeah, he's going to try to leave some experience, if anything. Hit level 2 at least. As Puck is back at base, as mentioned. Kunkka's finding himself now at the top lane. Going to start doing some polling down here for the Bristleback, but is this what you expect for the Kunkka really to just be moving around a lot?
He wants to be at the top to secure Velo at least level 2 to level 3. Shadow Shaman, very good against a single hero, just walks in Shackle and pretty much ensure a kill. Not so good in a 2v2 situation, and that's really the predominant reason why he's there.
Nice play by Kunkka, catching Slaughter, and the invis Sexy Bambo sits nearby, waiting for Slaughter to think that he's going to get away. Not the case. Lifts him up, sets up the kill for the Kunkka in the end, and 2-0 start here for Geek Fam.
Yeah, it's very fortunate that these early game support heroes are getting so much done for Geek Fam, because traditionally Rasa, the Rubik and Kunkka aren't really that strong at this stage of the game, and despite of that, they're able to get a lot of things done.
See, they're kind of poking at one another. I mean, there's no rune they're necessarily fighting over, just simply trying to play the mind games here of who's going to be going in, but Rubik has made his way to that top lane, so right now it's just a Puck versus Lena mid. Alone by themselves. Rubik's continuing to run them up. I mean, he's just keeping them busy, I guess, is really what's going on here.
I think the Sentry and the Observer are not on the same team. I can't tell for sure. And one team is trying to get that kill.
Okay.
Although I'm not positive because all the cursor
nearby, yeah.
I can't tell.
That's a good point, actually. But just going in a little bit further. And he's just going to say hello.
All right.
This is just the movement is just hilarious to watch, but did Rubik go a little too far? Out comes the net. There's the crush. Don't think he's dying.
The thing is, they can't get too close. If they do get close, Bambo's going to try to cliff them. That's why he's baiting them and taunting them there.
That's true.
And you can see that he's like, I'm half HP, I don't boots. Come at me.
Oh, boy. Want to do it. You want to do it.
This is such an efficient trade, right? By himself, he's forcing 2 support heroes to lose time as well.
No, it feels like it's a very, very effective play in the end, as awkward as it almost is. What's going on? 4-minute rune's also going to spawn here, so Slaughter will pick that up. You see the lift into it, but it's just, yeah, he really is making a...
And now that the lift is gone, they don't care. They're going to just try to run him down.
True.
There is no shrine that he could actually activate. This could be a kill.
There's the Shackles. That will be a kill.
This is a classic Sexy Bambo play, a very high-risk, low-reward play. The only player to have negative fantasy point back in TI2.
Wow, you just really wanted to hit on that point, didn't you? Did he really have negative fantasy points? Wow.
The only player, in fact. What accomplishment.
Jeez. Accomplishment or something, I guess. Puck, he seems like, what is the creep score middle lane? 18-7 Puck, 24-7 Lena, so Lena is leading that here. Arcane Rune, Sexy Bambo, it's kind of beating out right here. There's the lift in. Oh, again, though, they're just not yet. They haven't practiced this much. That's clearly evident.
A couple more right clicks going through, but no kills.
Yeah. So that's, obviously the first blood that happened. It's also a little sloppy right there, but gets away. Does Lena. But yeah, Lena's winning that middle matchup against Puck. Is that expected?
Yeah, I am somewhat surprised. They both have the double no talisman start, and it was Teehee that got the first blood advantage. But I guess if you're Lena, you just Dragonflay for creep, so you're never really going to fall too far behind.
Yeah. Rubik. He's going to lift up Darkseer. He's going to put him on the cliff. Flashback to the last game that we're having right there. Slaughter. Torrent hits him. Port coming in from the Rasta. And now actually Rubik's in a lot of trouble. Darkseer obviously ported him right away as he got lifted up there, and Sexy Bambo Again, speaking of trying to get some value, unfortunately, bites him in the ass, and that's just a perfect shrine use, really, for the Dire side. Might as well be there anyways to use it.
Yeah, also, he's going to get his ward denied, or killed, because the Dire is aware of the fact that he's playing so aggressively. Ragi's going to break a smoke, and it looks like he's going to be able to hide in trees. Or not.
Or is he going to go for a kill, more so? X marks the spot, Torrent. He's going to land the combo. Illusory Orb in with Puck here for sure. They can get this kill. Waning Rift. Yeah, going to use it before the crush goes off. And thus a kill for Teehee, actually. So Teehee slightly behind in creep score against Lena, but now with that kill adding up.
Yo, Velo up top. Look at a huge stack. He's stealing it all.
Oh, that's huge. He's getting really low in the process, but he manages to kill off these bigger neutrals especially. That's pretty big, and I don't think they have a clue that he's doing this. Or else they would definitely be over trying to stop this. One more quill spam. There you go.
Back in the mid lane.
Oh yeah, they're fighting, aren't they? Torrent connects on Alina. That's a big kill. Waning Rift helps get it. And Raji on the Conka secures it. Now Puck looking to do more. Dream Coil used for that previous kill. Boombox, though, will fall back with Fly Solo, but they got the important target in Lina there.
Yeah. Again, the Radiant supports being able to do more despite the fact that this is not really their stage to shine, just due to better map movement. Perhaps better experience as a kind of roaming support player in Sexy Bambo. That the Slaughter has been level 2 for like so long now, and he's really unable to impact the game like the way that the Kunkka has been.
That's something that Lyrical was talking about there, with the idea of the Slaughter pick, and maybe he could be a little weaker as far as getting those kills necessarily. He's going to try something at the bottom lane with the Darkseer. He's level 7 himself, has that vacuum. Pulls somebody in. Juggernaut's about half life, but he's going to pop the heal ward, however.
Yeah.
And that'll be the end of that.
The strength of a Slaughter support is his ability to take sprint early and just be pretty much everywhere, take all of the bounty runes, be able to level up as you take the bounty runes. He never really wants to get into too much frontal fights. Obviously, he has a stun to contribute, but he wants to walk in the lane, stun once, walk away, take more bounty runes, help out the other lane, but he's gotten himself into too many fights and he's been losing most of them, and that is an issue for him.
We're going to cut the creep wave right here, the double level 4 Ion Shell. Makes it pretty quick. So a little annoying there for the Radiant side. Meanwhile, Puck heading towards the top rune. 8-minute rune. It's going to be a haste rune, so the perfect guess there. And he's going to actually... Oh, he picks it up. That's right, because, yeah, he doesn't have a bottle.
Protects his clarity from auto attack as well, so nicely done there.
Rappy takes some good damage. Going to survive for the time being, though. Iron Shell applied to the sprinted up Boombox, and he surges himself to escape there.
Alright, we got the ever-popular Soul Ring build out of the Juggernaut. That gives you a good indication what kind of game that Geek Fam wants to play, which is basically a playstyle that's always going to be out on the map, especially on the other half of the map, looking to take down Tier 1 and Tier 2. Popping that Soul Ring for the healing wards, and it might be a group-up strategy coming out from Geek Fam, because normally you would never go for this item.
Yeah, no, I honestly can't say I've ever seen it. Again, I'm a little bit newer in general, but... That is something. So yeah, you suggest it's just the idea that you want to be able to use that healing more efficiently as grouping up early on? Not
more efficiently, but more frequently. Because normally,
that's a good point. Okay.
It's always on ready to go, but as a Juggernaut, you don't have the mana pool to use it.
Well, that's a free kill on a Slaughter right there. See the spin coming out with the Dream Coil. Puck being there. You got Rubik farm in the middle lane, so you had to wonder where Puck was.
Yeah.
And he's bottom.
And in a more kind of macro theory crafting, like Geek Fam's lineup match up very well against Clutch Gamer if you're constantly pressuring Clutch Gamer. Clutch Gamer needs time, right? Rappy needs that mech, which will not come till like 15, 16 minutes. Shadow Shaman, a hero that's very good at going offensively on towers, not as good at defending his own towers.
He's got a wall right here as Darkseer. He gets hit by the Torrent, of course. He's brought back. Surge is on cooldown. Spin on top. Now Surge up in 2 seconds. Cuts the other direction. Surge, run away. Omni Slash.
Yep. That Soul Ring Omni Slash would not have the mana without it.
True.
So already pay for it.
Very efficient item. Definitely paying off. Meanwhile, back to the top lane. Vela goes down. Looks like Slaughter assisting there. Help for a kill coming out from Razor. Razor also got a kill on a Rubik earlier on. You know, we were missing watching some bottom lane action. So Razor, he's having a good time. He actually is top net worth now. 4,200 there. And he's going drums first. I like the adjustment to this game. Like, he knows the fights are going to be very, very soon. So drums normally an item that you probably don't go as the one position Razor. In this case, you know that they're going to come at you fast. So this is a good adjustment. And then probably Hurricane Pike is going to be his next item choice. Yeah. So he falls back right here, but the drum's just about finished now. He has team supports nearby. Rasta as well as Slaughter are in the vicinity. Velo, again, just coming off that death, so you can tell he's playing a little passive here. Doesn't want to commit too much, and the supports are missing. Rubik's counter-warding, meanwhile, with his Ancients. Whether they notice that from being blocked or whatnot, but he's going to do a stack on top of it. It's a good time in there from Sexy Bambo. Play some vision himself even, so doing good support things on their side. Puck, meanwhile, what is Puck going to be going for? I feel like Puck definitely has a variety of items he could try to make a point to go for. What do you think this game is?
Most likely Veil. Courier flying out. Just a couple of wards. Veil is going to be very decent this game because of the armor it provides you. Counteract a little bit of that corrosive haze. Does decently against Razor.
Does have the Blink Dagger right now queued up, actually. Just queued that up, so... Gonna go a little more aggressive instead. Is Teehee, and maybe that it goes again with the idea. Although I guess you could argue Veil wouldn't be bad if you are planning to group up, maybe. And make some team fights happen, but...
I mean, either way, they're both such standard item. If you think you're going to be able to snowball, Veil is probably the stronger choice. But if you're looking to just initiate fights, the Blink is quite decent. A Blink Raining Rift, especially against the Darkseer, is quite strong because he can't really help out his team if he's silenced. No vacuum available. So maybe that's what he's thinking about.
Kunkka trying to get level 6 with the Rubik, really, are actually both very close, farming out the middle lane. But Ghost Ship now online for the Kunkka and Rubik, and really a couple of creep kills away from getting that spell steal himself. Smoke Gank, meanwhile, from Clutch Gamers. 3 of them. We got Rostalina as well as Slaughter.
They want to find one into a Serpent Ward push. This is a very kind of common smoke timing for the Shadow Shaman.
Oof. And he just pops a Shrine, does Velo right here. So they will not have a Shrine use if a fight does break out. Another TP to the top lane. Here we go. There is the Serpent Ward push.
Do not let that get stolen, Fly Solo. Oh, rip.
You let it get stolen. I guess at that point, he couldn't really do much other than just run away more. So Ghost Ship goes through. Now they have the buff because of that, but doesn't really hit anyone. Static Link canceled pretty quickly. Lift on Rasta, pushed in, and there are the wards that he stole. So Rasta goes down, and there's no way they're pushing this now. In fact, Razor pulled back. The Torrent goes up on him. Snot's coming out, and Razor's forced to fight with the rest of this team. Out comes the wall as well from Darkseer. In response, though, Velo's now dropped below. They get the kill to Puck, who had been in pretty deep right there. Velo will live, but you know what? They killed Puck.
Yeah.
Not too shabby.
The only downside to that fight is that they didn't get the tower that they wanted to get, and they also gave away Serpent Wards, and I do believe Sexy Bambo should have the cooldown to use it one more time. Nope, looks like he has overridden his spell by taking something else, which is...
Crush there, yeah.
It's fine. But yeah, that was pretty sloppy by Fly Solo. Probably was expecting Rubik to be still at level 5, but that's something that you could just, pull up your menu and check.
Yeah. Again, the only way that he just simply needed to run out of position or run back further. But Bristleback, by the way, is being dove at the bottom lane. This could bite them in the ass, though. Razor's running away. Rasta just basically accepting death.
Yep.
Gonna hex a target even at the Puck.
It's hasn't been the best game for Fly Solo. He's been saving the energy booster for the arcane boots for like the past 3-4 minutes. Every time I clicked on him, he's at 700 gold, and dying 2 times in a row has not helped out at all.
That hurts. Wants to finish those as we got Boombox running in. Uh-oh. He's going to get hit by Neasel Goop, but a little too fast.
Just want to speak a little bit more about not having arcane boots on Shaman. Your mana is your bottleneck, right? Like, if you have nothing to do, you could just go into the jungle at the shock camp twice, and you just like come away with 100 extra gold. But because he doesn't have the boots, his further farm is going to get slowed down. And Shadow Shaman is one of those 5-position supports that can actually impact the game vastly if he could, let's say, get an Aghanim Scepter or a Blink Dagger. He's having rather a rough early game.
Yeah, that's always been one of his downsides. In fact, when you look at his skill set right now, he literally can't cast everything with his mana pool. So that's just some even more reason. Again, he needs those arcane boots. Meanwhile, the stack of Ancients being done by Bristleback, or I guess he's softening them up, stacking them again. Allowing for eventually to be done. Puck bottom lane. We have to deal with a Crush attempt, more so corrosive phase. Top lane, though, we got some action. Crush coming out from good old Rubik.
Oh, he's dead again.
Stole earlier, and yep, sure enough, another kill onto that Rasta.
Teehee, oh my god, the Rainbow, the Power Ranger TP's coming in. That's going to be 1 kill. They could lift Gabby. In fact, they will. That's going to be a second one. Bolt's going to be flying in as well, and they won't hit.
They will not hit. They get the buff, though, against, definitely worth keeping that in mind. Omni Slash bouncing around, though. But yeah, they weren't necessarily playing defensive, so they wanted that to hit for the stun. It does not. Teehee will survive, despite all that damage he took. He's getting low because the ghost ship is going to bring him to 1, but... Alright, he survives, though. So I guess it did help keep Puck alive, at least. Rubik, not so long. He'll go down. He TP'd in with everyone else. So, and they pushed the tower. That actually, again, Clutch Gamers, that worked out fairly well for them.
They pushed the tower without needing Serpent Wards, so that means they're going to get another one soonish. Fly Solo finally finishes Arcane Boots. We'll need to find a free lane to drop his wards, though.
Well, needs to be careful not to find a death to the Bristleback there at the top lane. Falls back before that happens. Puck with that Blink Dagger. We'll see what kind of use he's able to make with it. He's going to farm out, push out the middle lane even. Kunkka nearby. Bristleback, by the way, the Vanguard finished. Another 1,700 gold saved out. I feel like the Hood of Defiance, the natural kind of follow-up, but then where does he go from there? Is this a Pipe game, maybe? I mean, looking at this dire side, like Pipe could be fairly strong.
Pipe season, I would also consider Crimson. There's quite a bit of right-click. Those Serpent Wards pretty much become like useless once you pop the Crimson Guard buff on your whole team. Of course, there's always that Solar Crest that you want to look towards too. I mean, it really comes down to more so the order of what items you pick up, rather than because you're going to get all of those items eventually.
Lena, the Bloodstone, almost finished.
Serpent Wards right on top of Sexy Bamboo. I'm not sure that's worth, but okay.
It gets the kill, but yeah, that is a big cooldown committed as you're getting at middle tower. It's getting somewhat low, but without the wards. And Puck actually in a flank spot here with that Blink Dagger. So you got to be a little careful fighting this if you're Clutch Gamers. Bristleback, that Hood of Defiance finished. Does have that corrosive phase on him currently, but Puck's again keeping their attention, you can tell. And it's going to be enough to dismay or dissuade him from pushing that middle tower. And Puck will keep his distance too, so well played overall as far as holding them off, but again, it really goes back to the idea using the ultimate cooldown to just simply get a main support kill.
Yeah, I wonder if he's expecting a little bit more help in that particular spot, so in that sense, dropping the wards a little bit preemptively is fine. Right now, the more important thing for Clutch Gamer to do is get Boomback's Blink Dagger. Comparing the 4 position supports in this game a little bit, Boomback is in a really inefficient hero right now because he has no blink, whereas the Kunkka is fully online with his maxed out X and bow combination. So it is the reason why that Clutch Gamer, despite hitting the mid-tier 1 tower for such a long time, unable to really commit because they don't really have a guaranteed way to initiate.
Ooh, Slaughter basically has that blink. He wants to kill this last creep, but gonna be too difficult. He'll go back, however, and be able to purchase it by the time he's there. So Boombox gonna pick that up. And look at the smoke though from Geek Fam. Gonna get very aggressive vision down. See if they can make a play with that. The sentry put down there, so Dara said, will they go for a smoke play perhaps now that they have the blink on Slaughter? It looks like they are. Yep. Middle lane. That's a target, but Bristleback, of course, the most unfriendly one. Are wards back up? They are. They just came off cooldown.
I think they could kill Bristle if they have all 5 there. Oh, what a good smoke break, but they're going to get him.
Don't ward. Okay.
They could probably go for Roche if they want to commit the Mass Serpent Ward. Just like amp damage, ward, tick the Aegis. Or they could go for a tower push.
Middle tier 1 is still up, and they're going to be able to kill that pretty quickly. It's already very low, obviously, so that will happen. And now they fall back. Veil is finished by Puck, so again, wanted the blink first, but now he has the Veil follow-up here. So just earlier, that's a good item pick up this game for him here. Juggernaut, how is he looking? The Yasha and a Diffusal Blade actually almost finished. 2,300 gold saved up here.
The best ability to kind of break is the Surge. And they're going to be using that defensively quite a bit.
Yeah, take that off there. So Razor is going to go SNY into BKB here. I was kind of looking at that against this Radiant side. Is that going to be a very powerful item or not? I mean, the Puck alone is definitely a good hero to have it against.
Yeah, also the X-Bow combination.
True.
He doesn't really have a way to protect himself.
I love Bristleback. Just sits here with his back turned to a pack of Ancients. And they're all dead suddenly.
Yeah, earlier I suggested Hurricane Pike on Razor, but I did not fully factor in the X, right? Like, Force Staff is not really good when they can always drag you back, so
True.
The BKB makes way more sense in this regard.
Yeah, Yule's another pretty good tool for that as well, but not an item you'd expect to see on Razor. As, what else was I just saw right there? Oh yeah, Lotus Orb coming out from Bristleback. So that was one that we didn't really go over earlier, but it's definitely one that is somewhat popular on Bristleback
same
still.
thing. I mean, if you get a good Lotus Orb timing and you could reflect the static link from Razor, Razor becomes a pretty much useless hero for that engagement, right? So, because the hero is predicated upon, you know, isolating one hero, stealing your damage, getting your own damage, and Lotus Orb can reflect that.
Those key items for the Course's purchase, S&Y for Razor. You got the Diffusal picked up for Juggernaut. Neither team, though, is really looking to play too aggressive right now. Instead, kind of just controlling the map and farming.
I think that favors Clutch Gamers, because currently Geek Fam's the team that, to me, has the teamfight advantage. With the Blink Coil, with the Bolt, that's a lot of upfront control and AoE. But Clutch Gamer, when they pick up a Blink Dagger on Rappy's Darkseer, then I think suddenly the momentum shifts on their side. A Blink Vacuum into a Slardar stun. We saw that earlier in the top fight, and that was without, you know, the initiation power of a Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
Now they can kind of control it to greater finesse. So, like I mentioned during the draft, this is a combination of heroes that they've used a billion times, so they're really going to be good at it. Rappy dies.
That should be a free kill. Actually, Steel Surge does Rubik. Torrent connects. He mech heals, but yeah, it's going to be too much in the end. But Lee does here a big LSA on 4 heroes, picks off Juggernaut, and now Razor the Plasma Field to follow up. The static link on Bristleback this whole time as well. He's running in the midst of them, just spamming the quills. LSA will connect again. They'll crush at the front lines. Corrosive Phase is put up, and they take him out for a double kill. So they kill Darkseer, but it comes at a massive cost for Geek Fam there.
Yeah, the Juggernaut saw the Darkseer. Obviously, it was a 4 versus 1 situation, so he didn't want to use his Omni Slash. Felt it was a waste. But because they didn't use the Omni Slash, that kill took at least like 3-4 second extra, and that 3-4 second allowed Clutch Gamer to either TP into the shrine or just get there in time. And, you know, Geek Fam fought that the second half of the fight without really numbers or spells available to them.
What a light strike array as well.
Yeah, that was amazing.
4 hero stun. That's not often you see that, especially with no setup really to do it.
I mean, 4 hero stun into LSA, right? Like, essentially he dealt like 500 magic damage to 4 heroes by himself. That was ridiculous.
That was something, but that's, you know, whenever an ability like that lands, it's like, yes, credit to Lena, but what about the other side of maybe you got to be a little more spread out if you're all getting hit by 1 LSA as well. Something to think about for further engagements if you're a Geek Fan, but clearly that did kind of catch them off guard. After that kill on Darkseer, you mentioned, took a little bit longer than they hoped for, and Darkseer now has a pipe almost finished to top it all off. So yeah, he is a very tanky target, as he proved to be the last fight.
Yep.
You're going to get even tankier for him and the team.
He might get ganked again, though. He just walked past the ward that the Radiant just placed.
They scan out that area to see if he's next to the shrine, but not the case. He's instead middle with the Razor here. And they're going to head towards bottom. In fact, the Hastron will spawn nicely. The Razor will just pick on up and head towards bottom as well. So, yeah, it seems like Clutch Gamers, 6,000 net worth lead now. This is their biggest lead of the game so far. Trying to really get things going. Armel, 15 charges on that Bloodstone here on Lena.
They're going to start Roche here, and they're likely going to get the Aegis, but the cost is going to be pretty big. Tier 2 most likely going to go down. They can commit the Serpent Ward to speed things up.
Well,
but they are hesitant. They don't know where Geek Fam is, evidently.
Yeah, that's where it's really unfortunate if you're Clutch, because like you said, it's like, all right, we'll give up Rosha, but we'll take Tier 2, maybe pressure Tier 3. But yeah, you can tell they're playing very defensive. They just have no clue, and all of a sudden Roshan's going to fall, and they'll be like, ah, crap. That just happened, so. Yeah. Actually not too bad for Geek Fam. In fact, they could have an engagement now. Rubik lifts up. Surge activated on one of his teammates right there. The Torrent lands on a Darkseer. He'll surge away, or try to at least. Dreamco going to keep him in place. Meanwhile, Juggernaut, he Omni Slash in the backline. Slaughter barely lives over there. The wall goes down. That's actually from, or stolen by Rubik. The wall that was from Darkseer. Now there's the Rubik wall. And Rasta's caught in the midst of it. He's actually still has his wards this whole time. but he's not finding an opportunity to use it. Only the one death so far as the Aegis going to bring up that Juggernaut, but Slaughter was picked off, and Lena will be pulled back with the X. Oh man, the timing was just in time, but it's not going to be enough to actually get the kill. More so just be annoying. Darkseer, now can he live through this? Again, we mentioned many of times he is tanky, but this time, not tanky enough. So it ends up being 3 kills. It took a damn while for Geek Fam.
Yeah, the power of X marks a spot there because you can't really run. Surge is not a strong enough ability to get you out between like Diffusal Blade ticking away as well as X marks a spot, and as a result they're able to get a couple of kills. Clutch Gamer really needed to just not hesitate there, whether to throw down the Serpent Ward and take the tier 2 or just run earlier. They did neither. They kind of half-assed it, and as a result they were not going to be able to win a fight against a Aegis Juggernaut, nor were they able to run away against Diffusal Blade and X. And as a result, that was some heavy losses.
Yeah, certainly was. Razor bottom lane is just going to say hello to Puck at least, but by himself, no way he's getting that kill, of course, although Slaughter was making his way over with that Blink Dagger. But again, Puck playing it 2 defensive, gets back. Going to be fine for now, but Lena, again, the key that she stays alive mainly because of the Bloodstone charges, if anything. Remain up to 16 now, and now the Shadow Blade to go with the bots here. And a BKB queued up for her, so Armel, just like in the previous game against TNC, we kept kind of going back to that. She was doing a fantastic job, consistently doing well on the Lena, and keeping up in farm with that Sven in that case. And doing the same thing here, in fact, topping the charts.
Yep.
The net worth.
Gonna keep building defensive BKB. Same thought here as the Razor. Just make sure that you're not controlled by the X. You could run out of the Puck Dream Coil. In fact, the Puck might actually opt for an Aghanim Scepter down the line, just to control those BKBs, but not for now. Kind of a big item to commit for.
Gets that Yules right here at the very least. Kunkka, by the way, a Aether Lens picked up. A lot of extra range there. Hit those X's and even Torrents and on the Ghost Ship, so seems like overall a good item for a support Kunkka.
Yeah, a pretty common one for Kunkka. A less common one is the Aether Lens coming out from Fly Solo, which, hold that thought.
Yeah, because speaking of Fly Solo, that range not going to be doing him any good right here as he's being massively slow, but actually he's going to be able to kite it up unless Bristleback consistently chases him with that Lotus or Papa. Now Bristleback biting off a little too much. Pikachu gets Laguna Blade to the face and eventually falls as a result. That was the wall, I believe, I want to say of Rubik, actually.
Yes.
They're running through.
And he also stole Vacuum and vacuumed them into the wall, so how do you build your own Darkseer, but they're still losing this fight here.
Yeah, they lose 3, and oh my god, if Puck gets got 2, that's going to be really key. Now, he has the Yules, which he'll pop right there. And another phase shift even, another Lucifer open 1, but oh, they tried to time it. Good attempt by Slaughter, but not going to be enough. And he should be fine now, as he's too far away, but they get the kills that they're hoping for. All they lose was the Rasta. And tier 2 tower on top of that, perhaps.
Backdoor protection, doing a lot of work there.
And now they're going to get it.
Yeah, the backdoor protection was actually pretty big here. Gabby had like 250 stolen damage, but he couldn't hit the building because of backdoor protection, and eventually the tower goes down, but Clutch Gamer wasted like 30 extra seconds or something like that.
That takes a bit longer than they like, but again, Lena now 19 charges. Keep looking at that with the Bloodstone. And
a finished BKB after another wave, so Clutch Gamer... This is the Armel I remember. 3 months ago, I call him the Sumail C. Like, he was by far the best mechanically strong C player for the mid position. And this game he's showing that. Like, hasn't really shown that lately, because perhaps a hero pool changed thanks to the new patch, but definitely finding his own groove today, at least.
Yeah, if you're not somebody that's maybe too familiar with the Southeast Asian region, again, I've admitted I personally am not the most myself, but over just these couple of days now, and as you're stressing it, he's one of these players that most certainly has impressed, coming out from Clutch Gaming right here. So, trying to help lead his team to another victory, this time against Geek Fam, but another case of still anything could happen, and despite a 7,000 net worth lead, one big fight that goes the other way could turn things here. So, be a little careful. So you're mentioning the Shadow Shaman though with the Aether Lens. That isn't as popular perhaps, but
right, because if you think about it, the Aether Lens is, about 75% of the cost of Blink Dagger, which is one of his big jump as an item that you could pick up. But the reason that he's spending this money to get it is because he does not want his Serpent Ward to be stolen, right? Like, when it comes to protecting your Serpent Ward, cast range is really all you care about. Your distance from the Rubik. And having the extra 200 range or so with the Aether lens is really the key.
Yeah, makes sense there. Yeah, Bristleback Octarine Core is now queued up, so he's not going to go any of those team items necessarily. A little more greedy this route with an Octarine Core, if he ends up going for it. Obviously, he hasn't purchased anything yet. This currently has it queued up. But could you see an Octarine Core actually making sense, or would you rather see more of the team support?
I think it's hard to say. You definitely could see value in both of those items. I think a Pipe in particular helps a lot of the AoE damage that's coming out from the Lina, but I don't know. Maybe, again, I spoke the length of why Crimson's is good, but
yeah,
perhaps he feels like he just needed to be in the front line and worry less about the team. You know, he just needed to be up in front. Because last time he was up in front and he just died, right?
Yeah. I was wondering if Puck was going to dream crawl there, just to guess, but he chose not to, and as a spectator, you're like, just do it, but obviously he had no clue. And Lina happened to Shadow Blade and TP out right on top of them. So gets away, could have been a clutch pick, but not to be. Speaking of Blink Dagger, Juggernaut now has intentions of purchasing it, it looks like, as he has his Manta style finished in full. So a little more mobility coming out for him. Razor, obviously with that now 9-second BKB, pushing the top lane as the level 2 wards come out.
Yep.
Basta.
One ward, one tower.
There you go. Keep the push going. Gonna really put Geek Fam on their back foot here. Look at Geek Fam, their vision. They have a little bit of an aggressive ward as the bottom rune goes, but overall the map's looking pretty dark for them. And that's a Bristleback with that Lotus Orb up. But he is in a pretty bad spot right here. The static link has been connected, and he is going down pretty quickly. Puck in the midst of it. Dream Call has landed on 2. BKB, they'll throw it up from Razor. He just walks on out of it. And that will be the end of it, it seems like.
Yules on the Puck. He's in there.
Oh, yeah, he is. Wow, he is still being chased down. TE, Illusory Orb. If he goes with it, they know he's going for it. But no, not a little too far. And he is going to actually make the escape now as he has another TP to use.
I'm not sure whether Clutch could actually push up the high ground, especially without the Serpent Ward, but that play by Clutch is really smart, because generally what you do as the roster team is you drop the wards, you get the tower, and you back off, right? But they use, and those wards eventually gets cleaned up by the next Radiant hero that comes by, and they use that to bait. You know, Vela says, oh, free wards, that's like 200 goals I could claim, and then Clutch Gamer jumped him. Pretty big pick.
Top lane, Darkseer going to run down Puck right here. Prevent the Blink Dagger, actually, with that Ion Shell. Is he going to commit a wall for this?
Too hard of a kill, I think.
Yeah. He would have to use the wall, it feels like, if he really wanted it. But by breaking out here in the middle lane, yeah, both does connect on a Razor. The Omni Slash on top of Razor. Somehow still alive. In comes the heal. But now the stomp, the crush actually from Sexy Pampo on that Rubik that he stole earlier. So finally Razor will go down. But now at what cost the Onyx? He's going to take a crush himself. And he's taking some good damage. Looking to play the Lotus Orb. Comes a little bit late right there. And now Lina's going to be stunned in the back lines. But Slaughter will finish the job on the Juggernaut. Bristleback in the midst of it. 22 charges on that Bloodstone for the Lina. Going to get a third and 23rd charge, that is, as they do finish off Bristle. A 3-for-1 is what it ends up being. Oh, they lost Razor, but ended up working out pretty well for Clutch Gamers.
Yeah, Serpent Wards, it's the ready, fly solo. Gonna plop that one down. Hopefully he doesn't get a stolen. Ooh, nice silence here. Delaying it a little bit.
Being annoying right there, if anything. But yeah, the wards not actually going to be used right away. Level 2 wards right here. He's going to wait for the invulnerability. If anything, there they go. They actually kill Rubik, and he also does not have a buyback. Bristleback does, but does he really buy back here? He does. Yeah, Kunkka just resurrected, so they have 3 up now. Tier 3 goes down, and that will be enough for Clutch. Although, Lina, they're going to be forced to fight, it seems like. Slaughter. There comes a Drinko, catches 3. You have Darkseer still in the back lines. He is low on mana, though. Ghost Ship comes on through, connects on at least the 1. Roster's just going to go for the TP. Meanwhile, the Torrent connects on the Slaughter. And Lina. Slaughter goes down. Lina, one more Quill.
Whew, so fast.
Oh, Surge. Enough, though. Yeah, you're right.
Jukes to the south, has TP, but gets X again. Suicide's going to come out. But still, look at the mid lane. The range racks has gone down to the wards because they chased out instead of defending.
True.
So, to me, a victory already for Clutch Gamer, and Lina's back alive because of Bloodstone.
Yeah, and even with that, even with the suicide, she has 16 charges still, which is still very good.
Still respectable. We've seen a fair share of like 3 charge Bloodstone in this qualifier.
Oh, so yeah.
This is definitely one of the better Lina games.
I think you're just fine with having that. So, yeah, they got Razor, but that kind of snowballed after that. Back middle, Bristle. No, just going to thwart him off there, throwing out the Hex and getting him to fall back, but...
So, like you said, they did get Razor, but they took so long to actually get the kill on him, right? Thanks to the fact that Darkseer popped the Greaves, popped the Pipe, and look at the item that he's working on next. He's going for Crimson Guard.
Yeah.
Sorry, a little brain fart there. I suggested the Blink earlier, which is definitely the combo play that they have the potential to do, but it seems like their objective is, look, we're going to group up as 5, we're going to pop the trifecta of all of these defensive items, and we're going to just run at you. And Geek Fam just simply does not have enough damage. They struggle to kill Razor. I mean, how do they kill everyone else?
Exactly, and that that Shiva's Guard proven to be a viable pickup indeed. Armel, obviously worth mentioning in the Silver Edge, working on that Axe now even. Think of that true damage, or pure damage here. Roshan getting low. Puck, Illusory Orb will scalp, but not going to go in. This will be a Roshan kill in the dire favor, despite the extra harassment. And that means an Aegis pickup now for the Razor, and Cheese indeed going to Lina on top of it. So, yeah, if she can manage to get that Axe, especially before next fight, that's going to be a lot of intense damage coming out. The break on a Bristleback will be huge. As well, of course, things shaping up very nicely here for Clutch. They continue to have their biggest lead now, 14,000 net worth, as well as about a 14,000 experience lead. So where do they go is the question. Is there an item that they may want to get that Axe first before they really force the issue here?
Are you talking about the Razor Axe?
No, on Lina, sorry.
On Lina,
yeah, she's building it here.
A lot of heroes would be
true.
Would be happy with Axe. Of course, Fly Solo is dreaming of one, but, you know, obviously picks up the Glimmer Cape instead. So that is going to be his own protection tool against the Blink Dagger of the Juggernaut, if he could pop it beforehand. Obviously could protect whoever that gets X-Torrented bolted as well, so a very good all-around item. But Lina, maybe they won't wait for the Axe. Maybe they just kind of run down bottom.
Yeah, taking resources away, if anything, from Geek Fam here, farming up their jungle. And about 2,000 gold now saved up on Armel, so yeah, needs 1,000 more, and we'll have enough. Obviously, there's the buyback consideration, though. And you have to, but with the Bloodstone, and even has Cheese on top of that, so I don't know if he's going to be really concerned about that.
Yep.
At this point, bottom lane, Rubik and Juggernaut porting in, as if they feel like they're going to need the defense in, and they'd be right. Here goes the melee Rex. Taking some damage. Bristleback taking a while to get here. He finally gets here, but there's already a half-life by the time he does. Real Ward Trap attempt lays the vacuum, gets the kill on a Rubik. He's staying dead with no buyback. And the wall's put down to kind of zone them out as well. Nice turret right there. Actually catches Darkseer as he jumps in. Razor's going to just charge on it himself, head towards the bottom lane now. Backdoor protection is up, by the way. Slark with the crush. The break is applied to Bristleback, and you see him actually melting because of it. So despite the Lotus Orb even, ain't going to save him, and he's staying dead for 80 seconds. Kanka's going to get picked as well. No, he gets back to the well, and he'll survive. But this is probably another set of racks and Clutch Gamers statement here. This could be the beginning of the end now.
Alright, Fly Solo is doing the best he can. We'll eat an Omni Slash as well, whatever. They take him down. And now he's going to be isolated. Buyback's going to come out from the puck. I think that might protect the racks. Although, I don't think Clutch Gamer is backing up just yet. They're, you know, the Lina just cannons it down.
Yeah, they don't want to give up, but you can't blame them, of course, with everything being on the line right here. But it just seems like Clutch Gamer's going to take care of business. 40 more seconds for Bristleback to be up. They want to... Are they going to think about going to the top lane? Well, then they think about defending their teammates over here. As a Ghost Ship going to come out, lands on several heroes.
Okay.
And a nice turret on top of that, actually. So now Darkseer's in trouble. They already lose Slaughter. Darkseer having to fall back. Surge is stolen by Rubik right there. LS8, no, it's going to be canceled because the silence comes out.
Ooh, this is
onto Lina. Drain Coil used her as well, and Lina is going to get picked off most likely unless she can take out Juggernaut with her. She goes down, and she did not use a cheese.
I think her HP jumped up. Like,
oh no, she did. She did. Yeah.
This is a huge throw for Clutch Gamer. They already got the racks. It was your Darkseer getting jumped on. Who the hell cares? The third position Darkseer. Just let him die.
Yeah.
But they lost a Darkseer. They lost a Slaughter. They lost a Cheese, and they lost a godlike streak on Lina. Do you know how much gold that is? I don't know, but that's a lot of gold. At least, like, well, we have the graphs to help us out, but I mean.
Well, Kunkka got 1123 gold for that.
Oh, there you go.
I did the math real quickly. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's, if anything, it's one of those, now this game isn't 100% over. It felt like it was like a 99%, but now Geek Fam has more reason to at least stay in the game.
I mean, they're still really ahead. Unless this Razor gets picked, he doesn't have buyback. He has the Aegis.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Can they at least burn the Aegis? It looks like they might. No, but Lina comes in. Actually, now Juggernaut's in trouble. If he dies, he is not going to stay dead because he will have a buyback if he needs to, I guess, but Yeah, you can't blame them for jumping right there. Getting at that would have been huge for them to really make a statement on this comeback, but not to be. And now they're all back up. But yeah, if you're the Star side, be a little careful about really finishing this game. It's not 100% over.
I mean, they're still in an overwhelming position here. Fly Solo, almost level 18, looking for his level 3 Serpent Ward, and looking for a pick as well. Gotta be careful, though.
Juggernaut actually buys a blink while he's dead right here. We'll have that now. Something else to try to hold them off as there's the buyback on top of it. X marks the spot. I'm going to pull back Razor, but a nice Glimmer Cape use. Just in case right there. So I'm going to try to use this X to harass them out. If anything, too, you could also maybe use the X on the Bristleback and kind of send him in, but I guess if they have a Yields, that could be a little dangerous. Bristle. Yeah, the Lotus Orb up, wearing off right now, though. So the wards go down, the vacuum comes out, the wall's put down as well. The Ghost Ship going to come through. If anything to save teammates, put that stun out at least, but Razor's such a scary target. And they just all run away. Shackles will stolen right there by the Rubik, but Kunkka actually jumped by Slaughter. The racks are going to fall. That should be Mega Creeps now in favor of Clutch Gamers, and actually the finish of this game as they do finish the job on Juggernaut. Snipe him out. So double kill. Mega Creeps have spawned. I think now is where you say it's official. Clutch Gamers.
Yeah.
It's going to win.
Pretty good one for Clutch Gamer. Kind of as planned. This is how their draft is supposed to be executed. Had a little bit of hiccups along the way, but very, very strong performance.
Yeah, talk about a back-to-back games, more so the TNC matchup especially, but now following that up with another win. So now they pull ahead 500. They're going to be 4-3 after this game right here. And they have 2 more matches to follow now, because again, 9 in total. So again, playing for really that 2nd through 5th place spot, and they got to be feeling good about it.
They got, let's see,